Hello everyone. Good morning or good afternoon as per respective time zones. On behalf of entire managed Mastek services team, we would like to welcome you all to the 24B Benefits and Compensation Advisory webinar session. This important session is to keep you fully synchronized with the new features and functionalities as a part of this quarter release that Oracle provides. My name is Sachin Mishra and I am an CMS Operation Executive at Mastek Managed Services team. Today, I'm your host for this session, and I'm glad to introduce my colleague Simran Bachani. She's an XCM expert and part of our vast SCM team at Mastek. Today, she will take us through all the benefits and compensation updates for 24B quarter release. This session is planned for around 45 to 60 minutes, and we'll make sure that we also spare some time to answer all locations that you may have. Before we move to the agenda, let's have a quick look at the important disclaimer. We would like to convey you our approach towards the Oracle updates in a very simpler method. We will be taking you through vital analysis for the 24B updates done by our experts, which will help you incorporating new features and updates easily into the system. Also, we will sync you on any bugs, known issues if there are any. It's good to have interactive sessions, so please do ask questions through chat or question panel. We'll answer them at the end of the session. And in case if we run out of time, we will make sure to respond you to back by connecting with you at a later stage to answer all your questions. So list of new features coming into 24B, detailing on features so you get brief understanding on what new features are all about. Next one is what are the business benefits and important takeaway for you as a decision maker. So there are four components which we have done in-depth analysis of features which we are going to present to you. The first one is impact level analysis, which demonstrate the impact on the end user. If it is low impact, then regression testing can be avoided. But if it's high, then we need to opt for regression testing. Second one is which we all are aware that there are some features which are by default auto-enabled by Oracle, and there are some which we need to opt for. Third one highlights the nature of the feature. There would be certain configurations which may be required or some can be used without any changes. And the last one is a quick win. This term we use to simply convey that what is ready to use by investing minimum amount of time and what require significant amount of time and effort to make use of this feature. So with this, I will be handing over to my colleague, Simran Bachani. Please unmute yourself and all the best. The stage is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Sachin. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar on the Oracle 24B Compensation and Benefits Quarterly Upgrade. I am Simran Bachani, and I am excited to guide you through the latest features and enhancements that Oracle has to offer. From enhanced benefits management to advanced compensation tool, this upgrade is poised to revolutionize how organizations approach HR management. We will dive deep into a comprehensive understanding of the associated business benefits with these features. This way, you can make decisions on integrating new features with your organizational practices. We have prepared an analysis for all these enhancements. In this upgrade, we have 13 features of compensation and benefits combined. Primarily, as you can see on the screen, these features fall into two categories. The first is quick win. Quick win features which are easily available, and opt-in which are required to be enabled by Oracle. In this 24B update, we have 13 quick win features and 0 opt-in features. These 13 quick win features are further subcategorized into default with configuration and default with no configuration. So as the name suggests, the default with no configuration is ready to use without any additional setup, while default with configuration requires to be enabled based on the specific requirements. These are the new features which we will be discussing: quick wins which are default and don't require any configuration, and quick wins which are default but require to be enabled. We'll be discussing all these features followed by Q&A. In the meantime, if you have any query, please feel free to drop that in the chat box and our panelists will take it up from there. So moving ahead with the first feature of the quick win default with no configuration category is business rule support introduction for view compensation history. So in this upgrade, the user can now the business rules to extend the Redwood compensation view history. So basically, previously the default behavior was when the landing page shows the details for the last 5 years in 5 columns. Now with extending the business rules, we can see the details for the last 6 to 10 years. Previously, the default behavior was when the landing page shows overall salary, annual salary, and percentage change rows in the salary section. While extending the business rules now, we can see the annualized full-time salary row. Previously, when the landing page showed the salary, other compensation, stock, and recurring payment sections, now we can hide all the other compensation, stock, and recurring payment sections. So basically, these enhancements let the user extend the view compensation history and the associated detailed pages and tabs to suit their needs. As you can see here on the screen, it is a screenshot which we discussed recently for the business rules support introduction for view compensation history, and here we can see the details of the annual salary, percentage change, the annualized full-time salary, which will be available in the view compensation history. The next is Redwood individual compensation now supports stock plans. We can now let employees, line managers, and compensation managers use stock type individual compensation plans on the Redwood individual compensation plans, administer compensation, as well as the personal contribution pages. So previously, these stock plans weren't supported when the Redwood pages were introduced in the 23D and 24A releases. With this enhancement, you can continue your journey for the stock plans into Oracle Redwood solutions. The next is additional plan type groupings. So this is from the benefits module. So basically, we can now use 6 new plan type groupings along with the existing 12 to support benefit plans and plan types. So basically, the plan type grouping enables us to group different plans for displaying them in the self-service enrollment flow. And this grouping lets the user have different text, display, and rate column information for each country. This enhancement provides the user with greater flexibility in using the plan type groupings. The next is updated default behavior for timeliness evaluation of live events. Again, this feature is introduced in the benefits module. The timeliness days field is now defaulted to 90 for new live events and any existing live events if their existing values are null. For example, a salary change live event that was entered late can back out your open enrollment live event. So this causes additional work for the administrators. The new default behavior for timeliness evaluation features helps prevent such situations. The timeliness evaluation and the timeliness days fields of all the live events will now be populated. You can choose to have live events voided automatically or placed in manual status to review and determine the best course of action. This enhancement ensures that the live events aren't backed out and it reduces the additional work for the administrators. The next is additional certification types, again from the benefits module. We can now use additional certification types that are added to the enrollment, dependent, and beneficiary certifications. So the list of certifications that are enhanced are the enrollment certifications, which is enhanced to the number of new types, that is 8. The dependent certifications, which is enhanced to the number of new types, that is 9. And beneficiary certifications, which is enhanced and the number of new types is 3. As we can see here on the screen as well in the screenshot. So basically this enhancement allows more flexibility when creating certifications and it is now easier to track the exact documents in benefits. The next is additional attributes in workforce assignment salary subject areas. So this feature is from the compensation module basically used for the OTBI reporting. The compensation subject areas, with the addition of these columns, let the HR support report on the HR action and the action reason attributes that are related to salary and assignment details. So the workforce assignment salary now allows to report both on salary and human resources actions and reasons. The next is secondary manager hierarchy in workforce compensation subject areas. So this is again compensation OTBI related feature. This feature enhances the reporting on compensation related subject areas with new dimensions. We can now report on the secondary manager hierarchies related to compensation managers and the compensation worksheet managers as well. Also, the compensation plan details dimension was enhanced with columns for primary hierarchy, secondary hierarchy, and the reviewer details. This feature allows the reporting on secondary manager hierarchy in workforce compensation. Moving ahead, now we will be discussing the quick win features which are default with configuration. So basically these features will require some configuration or some profile options to be enabled to access this. The first one in this category is view only individual compensation role for approver. So with this feature, we can now view the individual compensation details in the BI publisher approval notifications using a new aggregate privilege without having to grant the approvers the ability to manage personal contribution, individual compensation, or administer individual compensation. Earlier, the approver needed the manage aggregate privileges of the action to view the details. This enhancement gives users the flexibility to let approvers just view data without needing the manage privileges. So here, as we can see on the screen, the screenshot of that the details without having the privilege, they can view the data. The next is Redwood experience for review proposed progressions and salary updates detail page. So in the Redwood area, we have this new feature that is introduced. That is, the user can now use the review proposed progressions and the salary updates detail pages that have been recreated in Redwood. So when we enable the Redwood experience for the compensation, we can access this page. The updates tab here, as we can see on the screenshot, it shows the assignments proposed for progressions and salary changes. In this example, the 9 assignments were proposed for the update, as we can see here. And the top of the page gives the counts for accepted and rejected and not processed information. So this feature allows experience of Redwood and for the review proposed progressions and salary updates detail pages in the enhanced Redwood UI. The next is again from Redwood, that is Redwood experience for grades and grade rates in compensation. With this, we can now access the new Redwood pages for managing grades and grade rates from the compensation landing page and the quick actions as well, which will take us to the Redwood UI of grade and grade rates. And again, this feature helps us to view these pages in Redwood's high fidelity mode from the compensation landing page. The next is Redwood experience for simulate salary range. So now the HR specialists and the compensation managers use the simulate salary range, that is the pages that are recreated with the Redwood set a Redwood toolset Visual Builder Studio when we enable them along with the Redwood experience. As we can see here on the screen, the simulate salary range, the page that is enhanced, and after enabling the Redwood, we can see this page. The next is use home address for service area eligibility. With this feature, we can now use the employee's home address instead of the primary or work address for the eligibility profiles. So for example, if the user wants the benefits rates to be based on the home postal code or service area for a remote employee, a new profile option is added to allow service area and postal code eligibility profiles for such processes. So this enhancement allows to offer benefits to employees based on their home address. The next is, and probably this is the last feature of this upgrade, it is new data security profile for global models. So Oracle has added a new data security profile that lets us separately secure data in global models and lets administrators act on the full populations of a plan. So it now allows to act on a separate population within the Workforce Compensation Administration. So with this, we'll move to our Q&A session, and I'll hand over to my colleague Sachin.
Thank you, Simran. Thank you for the wonderful insights. As we have seen, there is a lot of impressive feature that came up in this for the release. Let's quickly move towards the Q&A part now. Rishabh, can you please check if we have received any questions in our question or chat panel?
Yes, Ajay. I don't see any questions as of now in the chat questions area.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, so one important message which we would like to convey to all that if you would like to enable Redwood pages for any of the modules, or if you need any further assistance on the Redwood pages, you can certainly write to the Mastek support manager, and they will be able to arrange the required support. Also, you will receive an email by next week wherein presentation, test scripts, and session recordings would be available to you at a single click. So before you leave us, we would like to have a quick feedback on today's sessions with the help of poll. So I'm launching a poll on the screen right now. So please rate your overall experience of today's sessions, where one being the lowest rating and five being the highest. Okay, we got the answers. Closing the poll. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for joining the session. Thank you for valuable time.